Welcome back to Boomer's Playground. Today we'll be going over coding exercise 35 from the Colt Steele Web Developer Bootcamp. And this is when the coding starts to get fun. We're starting to do functions, and functions are pretty much the lifeline of, really any programming language. And I'm not sure if you heard it explained like this, but all a function is just a list of steps to accomplish something. So think of it like a recipe. You know, you have a, chili recipe handed down from generations upon generations. You write that recipe down once, and then all you have to do is just read that one recipe, right? You don't have to go Googling, you don't have to go trying new things. Like it's just already there. And that's what you can kind of think of when we're talking about functions. Now, I don't remember which way he has you creating them, but there's two different ways. We have ES5, and then we have ES6, or you'll often hear them called arrow functions. So they're almost the exact same thing. Arrow functions do mess with the this context, but that's not something you should worry about right now. That's a little more intricate, and most of the time, arrow functions aren't really going to get in the way of you doing what you want to do. So, but I do want to show them both. So it just wants us to create a function that prints out the little heart with that. And so that's one way to do it. And then the other way is with arrow functions, like I said, we can do, then we get the same thing there, but let's make sure to comment it out. Okay. So we define a function, we called it that name, and then we're just printing out the thing. So in bold right here, it says execute your function once. So we've written this code, and you might be thinking, oh, sweet, we did it. That's awesome. But this code doesn't actually get run until you call this function. So I actually have to say print heart, and then you have to do the opening and closing parens. That's actually calling the function. So you'll see here, it says just to call it once. So just for fun, let's call it twice, and let's see what happens with our tests. And you'll see that we failed it. And that's because it expected 2 to be 1. And what that means is it's just seeing how many of these are in the console, and it's finding 2. So it's saying, hey, well, we only want to see 1. And I really just wanted to do that to show you that, this will run as many times as you call it. So like here, we're going to get an error that says expected 4 to be 1 because we have called the function 4 times, but we only want it to run once, so we're going to get rid of that. And let's see if this passes our test. And we'll see that it does. So we'll comment those guys out, and then let's bring this guy back in just so I can show you guys that I swear to God, I'm not lying. So we have this, and then again, we just have to call it. And again, just so you guys can see, it's essentially doing the same thing. We should get an error expected 3 to be 1. And we do get 3 to be 1, which is not what we want. So let's go to you, and we'll just call it once again. And you'll see that that passes. So you are more likely going to see this far more often for 2 reasons. One, it's just a little cleaner. And 2, when you get into like a framework, like a React or a Svelte or a Vue, a lot of the components are built using arrow functions like this. So those are the 2 ways. I hope you guys picked something up today. This is pretty basic, but we're going to be getting into some more fun stuff down here. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next exercise.